Welcome back to another set review video for BT22 Cyber Eden. Although this set is slated to drop on July 25th, pre-release is quickly approaching on the 18th. As a result, the goal of these videos is to enlighten players for up-and-coming cards and how they may fit into the current and new decks. Today's topic doesn't have a particular one from the Cyber Sleuth games or another particular series. Instead, these are the hodgepodge of cards that don't really have a home. Take Monzaemon for example. While this is a puppet trade card and could have fit in the Arisa support cards, this variant of Monzaemon looks more at supplementing the new DM engines released in EX9. This Digimon is similar to many of the level 5s released in the set in that when any of your Digimon with the version 1 trait would digivolve into this card, for each of the face-down sources, you reduce the cost by 1. This Digimon also has Armor Purge and a when digivolving, when attacking effect that is once per turn, by trashing this Digimon's bottom face-down Digivolution card, until your opponent's turn ends. One of their Digimon can't activate when digivolving effects, and gets minus 4000 DP. This is a really strong card, especially when comparing it to the likes of Digitamamon. Frankly, I can't wait for more members to appear because it just makes the deck more viable. The when attacking once per turn inheritable is a one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4000 DP. While DM might not be the strongest or best deck, what I do like about this archetype in general is that you create cheaper decks for new players wanting to try the game. Moving up to Shin Monzaemon, this new level 6 puppet Digimon can reduce its Digivolution cost if it's digivolving from a level 5 version 1 trait Digimon. I say that mainly because it says, when any of your version 1 trait Digimon, but it does not ignore the Digivolution requirement. This Digimon has Security Attack +1 and Armor Purge. Now imagine the fun that you could have with multi-armor purge in combination with Monzaemon. When digivolving and when attacking, by trashing this Digimon's bottom face-down Digivolution card, place one Digimon with as much or less DP as this Digimon as the top security card. For removal in version 1, honestly I really like it. Most balance protection effects only extend to the hand or deck, but security, it's hunting season. Veggiemon is the next Digimon for discussion. This Digimon is similar to Nanimon, Numamon, Sukamon, and Raremon from EX9. That end of your turn, by placing 3 Digimon cards with the version 2 trait from your trash, face down as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution card, it may digivolve into a Digimon card with the version 2 trait in the hand, or the trash. There are still 2 other level 4s you can cycle with, being the Agumon and Kabuterimon, but still, more members is always better. Keep in mind though that this doesn't just look at the level, but generically all the members. This Digimon simply has inheritable piercing. Vademon is the next version 5 level 5 Digimon that has Blocker. It also sports an on-play and when digivolving effect that prevents de-digivolving effects from affecting this Digimon, and it gets buffed by 1000 DP for each of its face-down Digivolution cards. Again, keep in mind that Raremon from EX9 now gives you a lot of potential for protection and buffs. Though the Machinedramon level 5 that supplements this is the Metal Tyrannomon. Vademon is the next level 5 that can digivolve from Veggiemon, any Veggiemon mind you, or a level 4 with the DM trait for a cost of 4. If it's a version 2 trait Digimon, you can reduce the Digivolution cost by 1 for each face-down card. This Digimon also has Fragment 3. And as a general reminder, Fragment is a keyword in which when this Digimon would be deleted, you trash any 3 Digivolution cards to prevent its deletion. When digivolving, when attacking, once per turn, de-digivolve 1 on one of your opponent's Digimon. Then by trashing this Digimon's bottom face-down Digivolution card, you return one of your opponent's playcost 4 or lower Digimon or Tamers to the hand. Excuse me? Black can spin cards back to the hand now, including Tamers? This is actually a nice piece of removal. It's inheritable as a typical redirect when your opponent's Digimon attacks. And while Machinedramon was the first big boss version 5 machine Digimon, Raidenmon Ace also makes its own debut. This Digimon can digivolve from any level 5 with the DM trait for a cost of 3. And considering your Vademon and Vademons have really awesome effects to end on, should your opponent attack, this does make a great ace target. This Digimon has Collision, Blocker, and an on-play when digivolving effect that may unsuspend one of your Digimon, then you may suspend one Digimon. Yours, or your opponent's. All turns once per turn when any of your version 5 trait Digimon suspend, de-digivolve 1 on one of your opponent's Digimon. The fact that this is an uncommon does make it a pretty nifty Digimon with version 5, though it's a shame that it doesn't do anything with the old Raidenmon support cards. But with the arrival of another Agumon, the newest variant brings us to new roots with green and purple. The new Agumon X is a green-purple Digimon and digivolves from Koromon or Agumon for a cost of 0. If you're looking to do some really strange color combinations at this point with the deck, you honestly can. This Digimon has an on-play and when digivolving effect that you may return one Digimon card with Tyrannomon in its name, or the dinosaur trait from your trash to the hand. And though it does not directly support the upper end of Greymon decks, the fact that you can nab back BT17 Greymon makes this even more worthwhile to some degree in my mind. It's inheritable as an all turns once per turn effect, where when this Digimon deletes your opponent's Digimon in battle, you gain one memory. Sadly, this is the extent at which I like the new Agumon. This Digimon must delete your opponent's Digimon in battle, meaning if you delete it via effects like Greymon or Dinomon, you don't gain memory. Instead, you'll have to suspend and then attack over or raid into it in order to get this memory. Though for redirects, it could be cheeky. Sequentially, since we're going through a different X-Antibody line, this means that instead of Greymon, it's a Tyrannomon Digimon. More specifically, Dark Tyrannomon X. When digivolving, if Dark Tyrannomon or X-Antibody is in the Digivolution sources, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. Also when attacking, this Digimon may digivolve into a Digimon card, with Tyrannomon in its name or the dinosaur trait in hand. Keep in mind you still have to pay the cost, meaning it's not like you're gaining too much value out of this. Though out of all the level 5 Tyrannomons I looked into, Master Tyrannomon feels like the best in this case. This Digimon also shares the same inheritable as Agumon X, but sadly again, you'll need a top end that can delete a Digimon in battle, though combined with Dinomon, you'll need to mix some taunt into the deck as well. With Metal Tyrannomon X, this Digimon has collision, which means if you do digivolve into this Digimon off of Dark Tyrannomon X's Evo, after you've completed the when digivolving effect, this is where collision comes into play. When digivolving, this Digimon gets plus 4000 DP until your opponent's turn ends. Then if Metal Tyrannomon or X-Antibody is in the Digivolution cards, one of your opponent's Digimon cannot digivolve until their turn ends. This is some really good support considering the inheritable is an end of opponent's turn, choose one of your opponent's Digimon. The chosen Digimon must attack. A shame that it's not beginning of opponent's main phase, but regardless, you can still get a nice redirect into Dinomon and gain 2 memory more off the inheritables. But winding down to the last hodgepodge cards of the set, surprisingly, Gammamon cards have 2 cards that make an appearance. To some degree, I can see why Bandai would release them here, because in BT21 we just had some Siriusmon support cards, but only one Digivolution line. Though at this point, Bandai, I have one question. What about Jellymon and Angoramon support? Chaos Gammamon returns as another blue Digimon that can digivolve from any color Gammamon for a cost of 2. When attacking, once per turn by placing one Digimon card with Gammamon in its name from your hand, as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution card, you draw 1. I like this because you now have the ability to not neg your hand 1 card through an effect and having to rely on a tamer to clean up. Interestingly, this is the first Chaos Gammamon that sports an inheritable, being the typical jamming. And because this is a Dragon King card, who knows, maybe there's some more adjustments for Dorbikmon decks. And for the last and final card, Wesen Gammamon has similar Digivolution costs, but has an on-play and when digivolving effect, whereby placing one Digimon card with Gammamon in its name from your hand as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution card, it gains blocker and plus 3000 DP until your opponent's turn ends. I mean, I guess it's fine? I guess Gulas will come back in BT23? This Digimon has inheritable piercing, but in all honesty, mono green cards rarely impress me these days for the fact that they're dependent on suspending Digimon, attacking over them, and have little protection. And in Digimon post BT14, Blast Digivolution is such a painful thing to run into that until green has a better way to deal with it, progress, then it feels like a dead color. But with support cards for DM cards, Tyrannomon, and Siriusmon, do you think there's enough support now to give these archetypes a leg to stand on, or is it all for naught? Join me tomorrow, because it's time to return to Cyber Sleuth. This is DIGI-PANDA, logging out.